so good I had to show it twice. All right. Well, then welcome everybody to Iron Realm Media 2017. This is our first broadcast of the new year. Nothing really planned for us today. We have with us, as always, is Flat Earth Head. Find him on Twitter at Facebones777.
Hey, guys.
We have Rob. You can find him on Twitter at Rob_Freddy. We also have with us Adam. You can find Adam at Twitter at Larchero Red. And I am Josh Corey. You can find me at JRCorey77 on Twitter, something like that. Something like that. I don't know. That's it.
I did say hello, but I was muted.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to 2017.
Good start. Yeah, good start.
Hey, that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Consistency.
One more pronunciation question. Larchio Red.
What did I say?
Larchio Red. That's right.
But I mean, spelled the same, so it doesn't really matter.
Just different emphasis.
Yeah. Guess my boy.
So how is everyone's new year?
Hey, Adam, I was going to ask you a question, and this will go towards how your new year's going.
And everybody's gone. Welcome to 2017.
Welcome to 2017.
Google Hangout starts fucking with us.
Yes, sir. If you're not here in America, you're gone. Apparently, that's insane. Welcome back, Rob.
Hey, Rob, how's it going?
All right, drop Adam out as well.
Yep.
Going to be one of those ones as well.
Hey, why not?
Adam comes back.
That's just that D-Wave fucking with us. Stupid AI.
Here he's back. All right.
Welcome back.
I'll continue with that question, Adam. A guy in my office goes for Nottingham Forest. He reckons that user are going to get relegated this year. What do you reckon? Oh, he's gone again.
Oh, come on. All right. It's time for that business meeting, whatever thing you sit around.
Yeah, I hate the idea of a monthly feed.
We're going to have to.
Hi, guys. Sorry about that.
Hi.
That's all right.
Did you hear my question, Adam?
No, you kicked out and then I kicked out straight afterwards. So you said, I heard about your new year and that's as far as I got.
Well, you might want to grab some headphones, Adam.
Yeah? All right. I'll get back on. I'll see you in 5. See you in 5, bro.
All right. Excellent.
Bye-bye.
Meanwhile, Rob, your new year has started off excellently with your amazing new camera.
Yep. It's I was just mucking around with it at home, and I wasn't too impressed, because I've got hills all around me. I can't really zoom in on much, But when I got out onto that beach, on Tuesday, amazing. I couldn't believe how good the high definition was. Obviously, I can't see how good it is until I put it actually onto onto YouTube. I couldn't see how good that picture was.
Mm-hmm.
But because I've just got the viewfinder. It's just a 2.5-inch screen on the viewfinder. That's it's not very good resolution on that. So it wasn't until I actually uploaded it and watched it, and I went, wow! I realised how good because it's 20 megapixels, that camera. The P900 16. I don't know what the difference is at the end of the day, but I can even I can record in even a better HD than that too. That's I can double that one. I think it's 4K. It's a 4K resolution as well.
Well, I know
so
YouTube will handle 4K.
Better picture than that. So I probably won't use that because it took an hour to download that just for the 1.5 minutes or whatever it was. So obviously I don't need that really, really good picture. But that's probably why I bought it, but I don't need it. Yeah, it's great.
Well, it's beautiful. Just as your launch video with it, amazing.
Yeah, and that was just a muck around, and I didn't actually think that I'd be uploading that at all because you heard what I said. It was just an off the cuff. I was just talking.
Yep.
So yeah, I was wrong. What I said was wrong. Those islands aren't near each other. They're 7 miles apart, so yeah, they're not near each other. And no, I'm planning. I'm on holidays now, so I'm planning on going out to my local bay, and I will get a couple of good videos. I hope, because it's raining at the moment, and with the rain, it gets the dust out of the air, and I can see a long way. You saw that photo I posted the other day of the island in the foreground. It was, I think I worked out it was 14 kilometers away or something like that, and the one in the background was 60 kilometers away. Another thing, that was a fantastic photo as well, wasn't it?
Yes, nice.
Yeah, so no, it should be good. I'm excited.
You got me jealous with your early work there, Robert. You got me jealous, and certainly with the scenery, I've got nothing like that to take. It's
it's my main reason I got it, Adam, because I just see this shit all the time. I just see it because I drive around all the time. I just see it. Geez, I wish I could take a photo of that. I wish I could do this, and my camera just didn't have any zoom. My phone camera just didn't have any zoom. So it's frustrating. So now I'll carry that wherever I go. I got it. Have you got yourself a tripod, Adam?
Yes, I got one. I got one, mate. But like I said, honestly, when I was trying to zoom in, I was even trying to move the zoom was wobbling stuff. So that app I downloaded that you said, I'm just desperate to have a play with that, but it's just dead miserable and cloudy. It's just being mean.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need to point yours into the sky, and then I remembered where you live, and it's like, man, it's going to be iffy for you too.
It's just, at least you've got proper weather. If it's cold, and it's snowy. Right. I've just got miserable, crap, damp, overcast weather with, and I've had a bust camera for all the days that I was off, and it was clear, and they weren't chemtrailing because it was New Year's. The only days it was clear, my camera were broke. So,
how close do you live to Bedford Level?
No, well, probably not far by your scales, but yeah, 2 or 3 hours, I thought.
You'll work out something amazing, I know.
Oh, I can't wait. I've managed to zoom into the horizon on Christmas Day, as far as I can go, and got a really clear shot of a cell tower and stuff. So I've got a good idea of the distance it can see in the atmosphere. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing I'm trying to work out, is what we're going to see when we start looking up. But
right.
I thought Rob's pictures were wicked.
That wobbliness, definitely the heavier duty tripod you get, because I have a very flimsy tripod, and I messed around with a heavier one at my brother's house, and it was a world of difference as far as the shakiness. But automating it as much as you can with that app should solve most of that for you.
That was Rob's first thing. I've said I've got to read the instructions. I'm admitting man defeat, and I'm going to read the instructions. See what comes out of it. But yeah, a lot of playing. I can't wait till the weather gets a bit better and we can start actually focusing on stuff. I mean, I couldn't even see the moon the other night. It was that cloudy, just a haze behind clouds. So yeah, looking forward to a bit better weather. But any suggestions, guys?
And that's what I was saying before, Adam.
And I will be right back, fellows. 1 second.
Or with well, I could see that island that was 60 kilometers away. But my coastline sort of curves around to the north, and I could see the coastline even beyond that 60 kilometers. So after it rains here, I've got so much bloody view, and I can see so far. It's just amazing. And one of the mornings in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to cruise down to where I was again. I'm going to get even a better one than that. I'm going to do it properly.
Oh, what you've got so far, I was just looking at the areas where you're getting the blurring and the merging of the horizon, and it's massive, mate. Already on those pictures, it's massive.
And that's not full zoom there, Adam. That wasn't full zoom. That hadn't gone into the digital zoom. When it goes into the digital zoom, is when it starts to fuzzy up a bit. So it's got 60 times zoom, but then yeah, so that wasn't full zoom, that one.
Did we lose anybody?
But it was good anyway. What was that, Josh?
Nope, sorry, that was just me and my loose cords.
Okay. Yeah, so no, that's not full on too. I can go better than that, but that's when I start to lose the vision.
I can't wait. I'm off to Italy at the end of this month, and it's so I can't wait to go there. Hopefully, when I've been there in the past, the night sky, it's right in the country, and the night sky's crystal clear. So I'm taking the camera for that. I'm just not going to have the tripod, so I'm going to have it down on a table somehow. But hopefully, by the end of the month, we should have some decent shots. But look, it was like a twin star. It looks like, but that's as close as I've managed to get so far. But I've not managed full zoom yet, Rob. That's my aim.
Yeah,
It was too shaky, mate. It was too shaky.
My question the other day was, you know how we see the P900 stars and people post them all the time. You know, this is what the stars really look like. And then speaking to a lot of camera guys and seeing a lot of comments, they're saying to me that is out of focus. We're getting that because the stars are out of focus. So that's sort of, if that's right, then that blows us out of the water, because then therefore it's not real. What's being posted is not right.
Well, there's a word for it. I can't remember right offhand, but I've looked at that phenomena in photographs and in like camera issues. And then I've looked at the really good star photographs and videos, the ones with like waves rippling across in front of them and obvious cymatic patterns to them. And it's totally different. I mean, it really is.
I think the circular pattern you see is probably out of focus, because they're getting it in the center of the picture. You're getting these rings off of it, aren't you? But I don't know. I mean, that's the purpose of what we're trying to look at, is to see actually what is this. Critically look at it instead of assuming that that's in focus. Is it? I've been practicing the other night trying to. You saw that picture I sent to me front room. So I've been zooming in on the glass cabinet through the glass, trying to zoom in and out on the focus of the etching on, it's a San Miguel glass, but do you know what I mean? Trying to see how I control and what focus is and stuff, but it's still a bit amateurish, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's good. Adam, you wanted to ask us some questions, did you?
Yeah, there was a couple of questions, because I've been engaging in Twitter a bit this week, because I dip in and out. I do stuff. I read more than I ever speak, and it normally takes a glass of wine for me to type something. And that. So I was watching a bit of YouTube this week, and I ended up basically. I know I've spoken to you guys for I don't know how long, but it's ended up following Iron Realm and a few others on Twitter this week, which is rubbish of me, I know, but I did get followed back by a few, so it's a mutual thing. And the reason I did that was just to trying to justify myself in a way, because I got in touch, and this is in no way a dig at Jeff Stewart, probably more of an attempt to justify myself to him. But I just quickly got in touch, watched one of his videos, and just thought I'd offer him help, because I've done a lot of work on curvature and the likes. So I was just saying, I've got some maths that might be interesting. Was instantly attacked by him and somebody else in the YouTube chat as a shill, which is disappointing.
It is.
Giving nothing other than an initial offer of help. And the main reason was because I also have on my YouTube list of people that I watch. What's his name? Vancouver, Flat Earth Vancouver, or some British Vancouver, or some Columbia, or a very critical guy. Vancouver Flat Earth or something, a Canadian guy. So that was it. That was Jeff Stewart's criticism. So it was just like not so much a question, but what? Eh? And any thoughts on it, guys, really? Because obviously, you know, we all do our best. And what I have not got time for is trying to justify myself to somebody. I mean, I genuinely
What was
took
his
me a
name,
couple
Adam?
of
Do you remember
tweets between us to realise the guy that was also involved was just taking the piss, frankly. You know what I mean? And that, which is sad, really. And like I say, it's not an indictment of Jeff. I assume he has a lot of shills that give him shit. So it was more of a stick it out there on the airwaves that, you know,
Yeah.
think what you think, dude. But genuinely, it was a genuine attempt to.
I know Walt doesn't do this, but the moment someone comments on one of my tweets or something like that, I block straight away. I'm not putting up with that. You know, name calling straight away, bang, you're gone. So I rarely get trolls, rarely, because I think they know that I'll just block them instantly.
Here's my take on it. And the only reason, I mean, I've been at Twitter for over a year now, and I am not a social media person. I don't sit around and play with Facebook. I mean, this was the only reason I did this was Flat Earth. And I quickly got attacked, called idiot, you know, don't reproduce, don't, you know, stop breathing, die. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm like, really? This is the reaction I'm going to get just for information? So that kind of like just made me redouble my efforts. And then I find that every time I'm just post something and 15 trolls attack me and I go back at them, I get at least 10 new followers out of it that are going, what's going on with this? So to me, it's worth a little bit of wasted energy, people call it, to take it on. And then in the end, you know, you get new people looking at it. But yeah, I don't know the details of specifically what was going on with you guys because, man, I've been so buried in video this week. I haven't even messed with Twitter much myself. But, you know, you just got to take it as much as you can personally and don't let it take your energy to a bad place.
No, that's the point. I mean, I just wish the guy good luck and said, you know, time will tell whether I'm a shill or not, but good luck, guy, and keep up the good work. I mean, it's on there. It's on his curvature video. You'll see it in the comments. I mean, there's a good long conversation there. So it's a very strange thing, but like I said, you know, it's a hand of dudes, a genuine, and this is probably more the point, guys. I mean, I've done a lot of work on curvature, and maybe at some point it might be worth me presenting my angular vectors work on here and just giving people a description. I've watched Jaron in his ISS feed at the end. They're still arguing about curvature, and I think it would give people a bit of clarity. I've done a fair bit of head banging on it. Do you know what I mean? To try and get my own head around the same problems that Jaron appears still to be having now, and to understand it. Do you know what I mean? And put it in an explanation that I understand, can walk if I wanted to, build if I wanted to, and explain mathematically. I think a few of the guys have got the spreadsheet I've done on it. I've not managed to develop it into a formula, but it explains it in a mathematical way. Maybe at some point,
yeah, I'd like to see that
for you on it.
That'd be great. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, because I mean, what it does, similar to John's formula, is it doubles the curvature though, which is good. So, you know, whatever your 8 inches per mile squared, as John's always said, he reckons it's 16 inches, doesn't he? And my stuff's metric, but it's more equivalent to John's than 8 inches per mile in terms of its numbers.
Yeah.
Everybody was on the math, and then everybody kind of backed away from it. So what were you at with that, Rob?
Well, if you have a look on that flat Earth chart, right down the bottom of it, it tells you the formula to use. So it says that it's not 8 inches per mile squared. It's you use on your scientific calculator, you use the sine or SIN, and then you put in the distance away, and you put in the radius, and then it works it out from there. So, and that's how that flat Earth chart's worked out. So yeah, that's when I backed off that, when I realised down the bottom it had the formula down the bottom. So the 8 inches is only good for maybe 100 miles. Then it starts to be out after that.
So then that calculator I used to make the video is pretty much irrelevant as far as that goes. I mean, I
No,
just went to it.
no, that's right. No, that's right.
No,
That would be using the proper formula.
for most practical
And
purposes,
the miles are so small that
Okay.
out it'd be a fraction out. It
Right. Well, at 19
wouldn't be
miles.
far
Right.
out at all. It'd be very, very close.
I don't think for anything that we could measure physically, it's out. Particularly, they claim. But I would suggest it is, because I don't think. Well, like I say, I'll present one time, but mine's based on. It's based on the proof of a circle with an infinite-sided polygon, and it uses that, and you can split the polygon down from infinity down to whatever number of sides you want, and then use that formula to calculate the point where two polygons meet is always on the edge of the circle. So they're the only points you can measure in space. So I've done it for a 40,000 sided polygon. So each.
Yeah, you had a last time we spoke, and you had a chart that you were making up, like a big spreadsheet, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was last year, mate. Well, a while ago, wasn't it? So that's what I've got. That's, I say, it'd take me a while if I was going to do a presentation, to explain it to people properly, so you could understand it, how I got to it. That give me, I'd need a day just to put it back together, because it was a while ago when I did it. And I'm being honest, the maths is a bit
look
rusty.
at it with you and help you work it out and present it.
Well, it'd be nice,
that's
actually.
for sure.
Well, it'd be really good, because you could make it look presentable in terms of what I'm trying to demonstrate, in terms of people being able to visualize what I'm describing. But that'd be really handy, dude. Actually, if you could get together and
awesome.
put a little video, that'd be even better than me trying to ramble live on air. If we actually put a presentation together, that'd be cool, dude.
Certainly.
Welcome, fellas. Hello, how are you? Hi.
James, you
Hey,
got
James,
out of
thank
the
you.
Hi, James.
snowbound
Oh yeah,
death trap.
I see you guys scrambling to get heaters in -15, and I'm in -31 with 3 feet of snow, so it's not bad. No, it was a crazy
Hey
day.
man, we're thin-blooded here though.
Honestly, dude, you don't even know how glad I am just to be out of the car. God bless my friend, but we literally almost came to blows about the moon. He is like a diehard moon fanatic. It's that guy I tell you about always. It's the moon guy, my buddy, we were screaming at the top of our lungs just now. And he's freaking trying to come up with things to back talk my things, and I'm just like giving him stuff like I loved it, because there was a couple things like watching his face just die, like when you get broken up with, when I asked him about the crater from the moon lander and the moon, the dust and all that shit. But man, these people are so, he's like, until you go to the space center, I don't want to talk to you. That's how he ended it. Unless you go to the space center.
Unless you go to the indoctrination center and get brainwashed.
Oh, dude. And then he's like fighting me on like it just shows me, like, because we look at this stuff. I mean, we should, some of us that are, still into this. He was even questioning like who was president. I'm like, Nixon was president, by the way. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, Mr. Fix-It, Mr. Secret. He was the guy. He was actually in power. It was an election year. He's like, no, it was Kennedy, blah, blah, blah. Just
oh my God. Know your myths. Hashtag know your myths.
Dude. And then I don't know. He got so mad. I literally, like, this is one of my good buddies. Like, I've worked with him. I know him. He's a simple guy, right? He's about 56, maybe, that generation. 56, near 60. Man, I had to bite my tongue. He was getting that mad. Because I even went further. I'm like, oh, yeah, well, why don't we just watch the Challenger folks? Why don't we let them explain to you how it works? And that was when I thought he was going to punch me. So then it kind of just left. And I kind of just backed off from there. But, yeah. It was an exciting day. Like, he said there's no way. It is embarrassing to the human race to think that the government would hoax something like this. The greatest achievement on the history of mankind. And I'm doing such a disservice to even mention that, you know what? Maybe they did fake it. You know, can you answer these questions? How about we just talk about this for a second? You know me, I'm like the passive aggressive type when it comes to things like that. But no, it escalated quickly, and I'm glad it's over. To be back with you guys. And that's my rant.
Wow.
In
We're
a
very
snow-
glad you're alive.
In a
Work.
snowstorm, no less.
Craziness.
Yeah,
So-
tensions can run high when you can't escape.
No, that's right, man. It is for both ends. It was both of us were feeling it. But what were you guys throwing around? What are we talking about, Orlando?
No,
I don't know. You
not-
killed our vibe.
no. We
I thought it was a beautiful segue. A
yeah,
beautiful
it was
segue.
awesome. It was
Sounded
awesome.
like someone wanted a segue, you know, instead of
Yeah.
being rambling on the spot without a presentation. So
We were just promising
Yeah.
shit we weren't going to deliver. We couldn't deliver there and then. So it was beautiful. You came in like a
Nice.
breath of
Next
fresh
year.
air.
Happy New Year's, all you mates. This is good.
Happy New
Let's
Year,
make
Jeff.
it a good one.
Yeah.
Happy
fingers crossed.
happy midwinter to you as well, sir.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about what the new addition to our group posted about the signal mirrors. I really like the simplicity of that, even with all their fancy cameras.
Yes. In fact, we should get somebody far away with a mirror and let Rob zoom in with his camera.
Well, then that's perfection, right? The combining of the old reliable with up-to-date gadgets.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Record the
No one's
analog
gonna
with the
help me
digital.
out. I know nobody who will help me out.
See, I was going through all of our
Man, there's
groups.
flat Australia people.
There's also
I have
New
a couple.
Zealand. There's a couple New Zealands I found that may, you know.
I have a
Hey,
new one
Rob, can
actually
you see
that's
New Zealand?
Australia.
Why can't you see New Zealand, Rob? The Earth is flat. You
If
should be
the
able to
Earth
see
is
New Zealand.
flat, you should be able to see Tokyo or even Russia. I mean, come on.
Who
What's
says
wrong
I
with you
can't,
guys?
Josh?
Who says you can, Rob?
Yeah, who says I can't? Maybe I can. It's only
Maybe you can.
3,000 miles away. Maybe I can.
Bust out your new camera and give it a shot.
Yeah. I'll give it a go.
I mean, you're the one that found the floating island.
You
I've
did
never
find
anybody
it.
else find a floating island off of Australia, but you found it.
Even my dad had to acknowledge it.
That island was about 10,000 miles away too. If you look carefully, you can see the motors on the bottom of it.
The
Hovering
little
it up.
propellers.
Hovering, right.
Yeah, you can see it. Zoom in even more.
Rob, you know that island. How high was the peak?
I'm thinking it's like maybe 20 or 30 meters high at the very, very most. Very, very most, about 20 or 30.
No,
That
the
is a-
island itself. On the island you've zoomed in on. What is the top peak of that island? Is that all it is? 20, 30 meters high?
Yeah, it's only only 20 or
Oh.
30 meters high. Yeah, it's only very, very tiny. Yeah, it might even be less than that.
And you were
It's
at
a bit
3
of a
feet,
lump.
right?
It's just a
Pull
bit
it
of
up
a lump
on
with some trees
Google
on it.
Maps. It's on there. It'll tell you. It's part. What is it? Oh man, I just made the video. Hang on, I've got it over here.
Have you got any neat pics with yours, Adam? Any star pics yet or anything? Any news on that front?
I've just been bemoaning that since I bought it. My camera, I worked for one day, stopped working all the time I was off over Christmas. I managed to get it replaced at the store, and then since then it's been nothing but cloudy. And I'm looking out now, and it's so and like being landlocked, there's no water I can get to test it. So I'm just waiting for better weather, dude. Just waiting for better weather.
They really wanted you to earn it, eh?
I'm gonna.
Oh, you are. Wow.
I'm gonna. Rob's taught me a few tips already, so it's probably better than just going out there like I did the first night and just shaking so much I couldn't focus on anything. So it's not good. You're shivering outdoors. You guys, I'm not going to moan at any of you guys about the cold
But
because I know
it's relative. It's relative.
Yeah, I'm not
They
probably
call
wrapped up as well,
don't
but
they call it whinging poms?
no, we don't moan. We just comment. Objective comment. It's true.
You know what's freaky about that is that you pay the good money for something so good, and that it actually has a defect from the factory. That's interesting to hear. No, at least you didn't get any defects with yours, Rob.
Oh, sorry, James, I missed that.
No, I said it's weird that you pay really good money, and that Adam happened to get one that had a factory defect, right? And I was just saying, thank goodness yours is all good and it's working beautifully.
Yeah.
So it's surprising that they would still have defects when you pay
And
like
everybody's gone.
$2,000 for
Welcome.
something. Is what I was
Welcome to
saying.
2017.
Welcome to
Yeah,
2000.
well,
I'm back.
well
So
on that, James.
if you're not here in
the
America,
guys,
you're gone. Apparently, that's
Mhm.
insane. Welcome back, Rob.
Hey, Rob, how's it going?
What
the
is
guys
going
that,
on?
Yep.
Me and Rob were the ones here. You guys are the ones that went away.
What just happened, man? What just happened? Like,
YouTube popped on.
oh, okay, because I was like, whoa, we're going back in time. D-Wave got us.
D-Wave got us. Fucking AI.
Now on that, James, the guys
Yes.
that I bought the camera off have been really, really good. I've been in there twice now, and they've been showing me because the instruction manual that it came with, and John, who's just joined us, doesn't tell you everything. It doesn't tell you how to time lapse. There's a shitload of stuff in there that it does not tell you how to do. The operating manual is very, very tiny. It just gives you the basics. So yeah,
You
guys really need to show me how to do it properly. Yeah,
you picked a good shop then, so they got a customer for life, and they did it the right way. That's how you do it. Good for you.
If all else fails, there's always YouTube videos.
I think that's my learning method. I think, well, that's what I'll be doing. That and Rob, to be honest. So
Rob will be the Jedi Master.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, so we're getting there, hopefully, guys. But that was the other thing I was going to say. If anybody's got any suggestions of what one's doing, give us a shout.
So I just got a snowblower coming around here. Sorry, guys.
25.
Is that a euphemism?
No, it's actually the snowblower. It's that bad. They're blowing it right under my deck here. So
You're not making it sound any better.
oh, you dirty birds. This is a PG broadcast. Let's remind the kids that it's safe.
That's
and the
true. It
parents.
is. That's right. Yes, sir. Safe.
Safe zone.
So, we never did get back to Rob's question for Adam way earlier. Something about incorporating, or
I think we've lost the moment. I was giving him shit about his.
oh, you were giving it. Oh, I didn't know what it was. I thought you had a legitimate question, and we forgot it. Then I remembered.
I've still missed it again, Rob.
I was trying to give him shit about. I reckon. Well, there's a guy in my office that supports them. I reckon he reckons they're going to go down this year, relegated.
Yeah. Look, I've got that kind of twitchy fear. If I'm being honest, we're waiting to be bought out by Americans, so we're waiting for the Yanks to come to the rescue.
Pfizer or something big? Who do you think's going to buy you?
No, you guys. He used to own. It's John Moores. He used to own San Diego. Is it Padres, the baseball team? Is that right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So him's
right.
trying to come and have a little play at English soccer. So we'll see what he makes of it. Hopefully he can get us out of it, because we're kind of waiting for this to happen. It's been a month or so, and we're kind of languishing, guys. It's not good. But
he reckons the team won't even play for you. There's guys in the team that are just won't play properly and all that sort of stuff. I can't believe that.
I think there's a few guys that are out of contract, and you're allowed to sign a new contract and talk to people now if you're out of contract in the summer. And I think it's natural for anyone when any of us are leaving a job.
We're talking about the
might have been
here?
guilty of not putting it in. Well, the league below, sadly.
Oh, okay.
Sadly.
Yeah.
But we'll get off football because it's bad. It's bad, chat. It's bad.
Wow,
Well,
it's
just
better
one
than
more-
hockey.
Just mean.
Just one more thing, Adam. I was
Go on.
the reason I really take interest in Nottingham is because I really want them to go up into the Premier League, so that when Liverpool play them and the guy from the office walks up the stairs after we've smashed them, I can see the sad look on his face. That's why I really want.
We've had some good ding dongs. We have, haven't we? You know, and I remember a load of smug scousers when I was a kid saying that after we drew you in the European Cup and we just won the league, and you were the reigning European champions. And I remember him saying that, and then the following day, just crying scousers everywhere. So, you know. If we ever do finally get up, mate, we'll see what happens. But to be honest with you, I'd happily take a tonkin at Anfield just for the privilege of being back in the Premiership. So, but God, nah, I doubt it'll happen, bro. The way things are going, it's bad. It's bad.
Okay. All right, back to the real issues.
Yeah, sorry about that, boys.
No, that's good.
We cover
on that. Why?
Ha ha.
He's gone again.
There you go.
No, on the
He
sports
shouldn't have talked about that.
sports control front here in Canada, we got our ass drubbed last night in hockey by the U.S., so I'm not impressed.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. We handled you. I don't even watch that,
in
man.
a shootout. Fuck. It's in my blood, man. I'm a kind of hockey, man. Got to do it. Got to do it. But we'll drop all that and get back to the plane.
No, I like sports ball. Let's talk some more sports ball.
Well, let's talk about how big of a control mechanism it is. Because literally, sports is the only other thing that can draw me away from research and myself and important things in life.
Circuses.
Yes, big money pulling the strings. And what's disappointing? I'll share a personal story on that front. I've always been a UFC fan, a nutball really. I've been to about 10, 15 shows. Got all the autographs of all the key people. Like, I love it. Martial arts guy. Just always loved it. It got bought out, and now it's run by Jesuit Satanists. So it's not so fun for me because I can start to see the changes just in terms of, like, what branding and marketing and what kind of things they're doing. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see how they just end up taking everything from everybody. You can't find something that they don't have their dirty hands in. It's irritating. All right.
I saw that Ronda Rousey get the shit beat out of her the other night.
Yeah, it was fake. Apparently, it's fixed now. It's fake and stuff. So I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
Well, her nose wasn't leaking fake blood.
Was it real blood?
Oh yeah, she got smashed.
I heard it was quick, but I heard she didn't even hit the floor, and they called it again. But whatever.
Oh, that girl was beating the shit out of her.
Fuck.
Yeah, that was a legitimate call. That was a good call.
I didn't see it. So I've seen almost every single one, so I can't speak to it. But I heard it was fast, but she wasn't on the floor. But either way, that girl's a killer, man. That Brazilian, she's mental. She's hungry.
What are you lot on about?
Sports ball.
Ultimate
Sports
Fighting
ball.
Championship. Sports ball.
Birds beating up birds, balls and football. Oh, I don't know. I've tuned into the wrong channel there, I think.
Right.
How you doing,
Down the
guys?
town centre, mate, on a Saturday night, you can see that, can't you? Bastards having a fight.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
My town centre's called Fight Club.
Yeah.
There it is.
10 years I've never been down there.
Do they have rules?
I have no idea.
I bet I know what the first rule is.
I would like to know.
I bet you John doesn't.
Don't.
Obviously.
Hey, can everybody retweet the link of this Hangout so we might get some
I was a little embarrassed.
Something in the
at
chat
first,
going. Someone in the chat
certainly.
going as well.
but I will.
I already retweeted.
You're
I was
tweeting
hoping
for
Richard would pop in talking about the Fort Lauderdale thing.
What is the
Does
Fort
he-
Lauderdale thing? I've not heard of that. What's going on?
Yeah,
Anyone?
Didn't
Say
they have a
the
shooting
legend
there a long
killed-
time ago?
Yeah, the Pulse.
5 and wounded 8. There's your 13
Was this today or what?
today. Yeah,
Oh.
they're implementing new security features now because not only do you have to be safe in
what
your
you just said-
airplanes, but in the airport too.
What you just said, there's your 13. But what I hear is if it had been 6 dead and 1 injured and 7, well, there's your 7, or something, or there was 13 dead and 3 injured, 13 minus 3. There's your,
I love you, Rob.
There's your
I love
13 right there.
that. That's exactly correct. I
Dude.
see both sides of that, Rob. I do indeed. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I got
it's-
sucked in till the last page, till the other things started coming up, and then I'm like, okay, wait a second. So they're mentioning 2 cities, but he's only making numbers out of 1 because it adds up to 13. What about Delta Airlines? No numbers there. Like, it bugs me. I'm with you, Rob. I don't know. I don't know. I'm with you.
I'm there too. I don't do this numerology stuff. I just can't get along with it.
Mm.
As of yet.
There's some I buy.
Yeah, absolutely. As of yet, it's obviously a big topic and a big, research learning curve and all the rest of it. But I think the more you look for it, it's the more you'll probably see it. But it's like chemtrails, you can't see them until you see them, and then you can't stop seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean they don't exist. I mean, but numbers are very, subjective.
Isn't there some, I mean, this may sound really naive, but isn't there a certain number of combinations? Like, isn't there a good possibility of getting hits with the new numbers because there are that many, similarities or additives that can aggregate to the number you want? Like, isn't it set up in a way that you can almost make the numbers work?
I bet, yeah.
That's what gets me. That's
Well, when you get to employ addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, then you can just randomly pick and choose which cipher you're going to use to decrypt individual words or groups of numbers. I mean, then it's just pick and choose. No, go on. I was done.
I was just going to say, and there aren't that many numbers between 0 and 9 that aren't special numbers.
exactly. And there are 5 or 6 different preferred methods of ciphers to use. So how does that work?
And allegedly, only the original Hebrew is the true one. So there's that aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said with the flat Earth thing, once it came out, that unless there was an astrologer out there that was teaching flat Earth in the model that is sort of commonly accepted, i.e. the Earth is stationary and the stars are moving and this sort of thing, then they're not really worth their salt now, even the Santos Bonanches and things like that, which is going to horrify whole swathes of people out there. But I just don't jump on with it. I think he just he goes with the wind and makes the most of it,
Can I ask you something, John? Does it, it makes me feel almost the same as the Mandela. Do you guys get that way? Like there's it's like something there, but nah, maybe not. That's all I feel.
I think right now it's gotten so prevalent in the media, in the whatever, truth or whatever with the Mandela thing, that people are now just looking for it. A friend called me the other day asking me how the song "We Are the Champions" ended. And I sang it because I'm karaoke it quite often. And she was like, well, no, they always say, oh, the world at the end. I'm like, no, they don't. They don't. They never have. It ends on a down
They do,
note.
though.
No, they don't.
It cuts off.
As
At the
opposed to
end,
what?
the last words, the very last words of the song.
As
The
opposed
very last words are, we are the champions. Bum, 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 with the piano on the bum, bum at the end. And that's it. There is no other of the world at the end. I'm a Queen fanatic. No, I'm a Queen fan since 71.
Dude, I'm a super Queen nut. Oh.
I sing the song. It is not. Oh, sure, they're wrong over here. Michelle's laughing because we know she knows what I'm talking about. Oh, this is hilarious. It's hilarious.
I'll tell you what, Shazam really threw me for a loop.
Which one's that?
Yeah,
Shazam.
I'm not saying the stuff's not happening, but people are looking for too many things now.
Yeah, it's like the Mandela effect, but you know, it's like these people that are channeling, or the people that are getting alien contact and shit like this. You know, for the last 10 years, if they weren't screaming, "It's flat, you dumb bastards," then you know what bloody use are they now?
Very little.
You know,
Right,
any remote
exactly.
viewer who can't remote view where they live to say, well, hold on a minute, you know, or I remote viewed last night and I looked down and it was flat with slightly upturned edges. You know.
It's interesting you say that. I got to know Ingo Swann back in the day, the guy who started all that, and his little protege, Courtney Brown. I met them at quite a few conferences, and I was going to try to get back in touch with them and see had they ever remote viewed the Earth, just to see what they said.
Oh, that is golden, Walt. That's hilarious. Sylvia
you know,
Brown.
they remote view to Mars and things like this, and you know, now it just sounds laughable.
That's hilarious.
That's
but
great.
that's what scientists and NASA is going to be like when this sucker gets unveiled. What are they going to do?
Well, they were the ones remote viewing. They were the ones funding all this shit. Sorry to any remote viewers out there that didn't realise the Earth was flat, but you're not very good at your job.
It's just like here's a real life same equation, John. I'm relating. Somebody's father told someone, "Go talk to the psychic," and so the response was, "No, we don't want to go to the psychic. You don't know what they're talking to or where they're from." And guess what the person said? "She talks with the angels. Don't worry."
What angels?
From whence? From where? What angels?
Well, that might be accurate, you know. Fallen angels. You've got your angels, your archangels, your fallen angels.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean they're good. Doesn't mean they're telling you anything of any use.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe she meant it was a vampire with a soul.
Plenty of
Like,
them around.
yeah.
Like from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. And then the spin-off, the Angel series.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. That's right.
My jokes are funnier when I don't have to explain them.
It does work better.
They're probably funnier when you're talking to people who watch TV.
Yeah.
That helps. I had to piece it together. I wasn't a big Buffy fan.
I wasn't either, but I was a big Angel fan. Well, semi-big Angel fan.
Was there hidden
I take.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, sir. I talk too much.
No, I was going to ask Josh about that show. Did it have hidden stuff that you went, oh, that's stuff I'm uncovering as I'm, waking up? Because I've seen that in quite a few shows now. The truth hidden in plain sight kind of thing.
I'll tell you, when I was into it, I hadn't started to wake up yet. And that's one of the reasons I don't like the term woke, or I wouldn't say that I'm awake, because that kind of implies I've reached a destination. So I was asleep and now I'm fully awake. I think it's a constant process where I'm always going to be waking up to something else. So I am awakening. I wasn't awakening when I was watching Angel.
I think I was passed out and now I'm dreaming, probably, hopefully.
I've finally reached the kitty height that I can push the turnstile and come into the real world.
Yeah, now you want to get back out. There's only one way.
Maybe I should have said with new eyes. That's probably a better way to say it.
The one-way turnstile.
I'm sure if I went back and watched Angel with new eyes, there would be just all the same basic demonology, witchcraft kind of stuff that you'd expect from.
I think there'd be more. I think this is the thing. Flat Earth is hidden, man. Everything I'm watching, either it's because we're obsessive nutbags and we're finding it and looking for it, but I'm seeing it as I rewatch. It's fun.
Did you guys see that video clip I posted where they actually showed a flat Earth? Well, I wouldn't say they showed a flat Earth. They showed that chintz ass flat Earth disc
Mhm.
floating in space, but
Floating in space, right?
it's still
Well,
more than
even
you usually get.
even stuff. I mean, I don't watch most at all. I mean, I have a few things I go to just for laughs, but other than that, I don't watch any kind of like episodic thing. But my teenage daughter does, and there's some show called Supernatural that as I go through and see what she's watching, I see things
I got
that
sucked
are
in there.
definitely decoding, what's going on around us. It's pretty crazy.
You just got to watch any Lego movie to see all the demonic red and black and
Right?
the Satan worshipping, devil worshipping, all in cutesy little Lego figures that all the kids want.
Yeah. That's like
Scooby-Doo, that's full of it.
rewatching Disney stuff. What was that? I'll never forget. Before I got sick and out of business there a couple of years ago, I went to see a movie with my niece, my little beautiful unspoiled niece, as I like to think. And we saw that movie with Angelina Jolie, a Disney one that was a remake. And I can't remember the name, but dude, I am telling you, that is not some stuff I wanted my little niece to watch.
It's probably
And
Snow White. wasn't it?
No, the ones with the horns. She was wearing like a black Baphomet outfit, and she's got horns. And
My wife was watching that the other day. I can't remember what it's called.
and it basically
Malfeasant.
what's
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
that rings a bell.
that's it. That's it.
What's
So
it called,
basically,
Adam?
Maleficent or something.
I'll say it quickly again because I'm not sure the pronunciation. I think it's Malfeasant.
Right. Yeah. No, that rings a bell. And it was literally, like you say, James,
Maleficent.
devil horns everywhere,
There you go.
black capes.
But the story was what was so disturbing, because even the my niece said at the end, so sometimes bad guys aren't bad. So basically, they were just. I thought it was
Exactly.
Lucifer hero story. She was playing Baphomet, and they were telling of what the Madame Blavatsky followers believe. Right? They believe the opposite of what most people do.
It's the anti-hero. It's the promotion of the anti-hero, basically. The bad guy then becomes the good guy who's actually a bad guy. So by the end of it, the kids just haven't got a clue. And even the adults just don't have a clue. They're like, yeah, good, bad, good.
Well,
bad,
that's what
bad,
made my stomach turn. The whole time I'm sitting in the theater, what am I going to do? I can't walk out with her. My sister's sitting with me. It's the three of us. What am I going to walk out because I get bad feelings? No.
You
and
spark
at the
up
end,
a big reefer. Sorry.
Yeah, you see it right at the end. She's like, well, how come? I guess the bad people can be good too, or bad people aren't. Like immediately. So that's sad. That's
designed.
Disney is evil fucks. I'm sorry I had to say it. I mean, it's been programming since the beginning. Since a kid, I didn't like Disney cartoons. I didn't know why I didn't like them. I do now.
Has anyone been to Disneyland?
Never.
Many times. That is a very, very creepy place to get turned around as a child. I was lost there for about 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We got separated when I was in 1984. I think when was the 25th? I was really young. And I got separated for 40 minutes because of the pirate ride or something. And obviously at that age, I didn't do very well either. I obviously had a spaz because I couldn't go on something. So whoever they left to watch me, I probably took off of. But can I just tell you, like, when you're a kid, and I've had things happen to me, you get a sense of like some kind of weird feelings. There's a lot at Disneyland, at both ones. I'll say that.
Do they make you do the biometrics and all that to get in these days, or they still got the 33 club and all that?
Yes, I have a friend who goes ridiculously often. I mean, I've really lost a friend at Disneyland. It's insane. We used to do karaoke almost every weekend. He's been to Disneyland at least 8 times this year now.
They got married there too, didn't they? Theme wedding and everything?
He's working 4 weeks straight now so he could go back during the holidays and be there for Christmas and celebrate Christmas at Disneyland. It's insane. He sent me a picture of a cloud formation that just happened to happen over this castle when he took a picture, and it's a skull. It's crazy. I'll send it to you.
Too much. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but apparently, and if you guys are familiar with Ted Gunderson's work, he was an old CIA director back in the 70s in Dallas, around there, for a couple of things. And he, I guess there is also a system there, if you will, as harsh as it sounds, like an underground kiddie network where, I'll say this. If you look into the amount of missing children at Disneyland every year, it'll probably give you the goosebumps.
I think it just did.
Yeah, no, I agree, James. Sorry, I was muted there. Yeah, I've heard Ted Gunderson talking about Disneyland and all the rest of it. Yeah.
Sorry, I was actually muted too. Have you heard of Bryce Taylor? Have you read her book? Do you know anything about that?
Was this in the 80s as well? Was that the woman with the blonde hair with the glasses?
Bob Hope and Kissinger were her controllers. Yeah, she was being controlled by Bob Hope and Kissinger. She was being used to take messages back and forth. This is the whole MK Ultra programming, sex kitten thing. Numerous times as a child, she was taken to Disneyland and taken into the It's a Small World ride and threatened to be hung in the rafters if she didn't cooperate. There's allegedly a picture floating around of a child hanging from the rafters. They had to shut the ride down in the mid-70s or some kind of craziness. It's all out there if you dig around for it.
Yeah, right.
It's a sick place. It's a sick thing. I mean, Disney's part of the NASA program. He helped set it up in the beginning. I mean, there's all the sex implications that are there
within the cartoons, yeah,
in the clouds and in the shapes of the posters, and the rabbit hole has a clitoris on it. I mean, it's ridiculous, some of the stuff.
It's high level propaganda from the 30s that is now in full force. I mean, there was that spinster, to me like John. You would know this spinster. He's the world's most famous spinster. He was the one that put cigarettes in the girl's hand that actually defied the men. And you know that famous propaganda guy?
Edward Bernays.
That's it. Yep.
The nephew of Sigmund
Freud.
Yep. Yeah. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Bacon and eggs for breakfast. Yeah, nasty piece of work.
This is the brainchild. All these programs are the brainchilds of people like him in hidden rooms that we never get to think or hear about or shown.
This is what I say. This is why what you're talking about Disney sounds like exactly what comes out of Tavistock, the Tavistock Institute. I don't know who controls who, whether the BBC controls them or they control the BBC or the CI or the MIs. I don't know what the setup is, but they're all in it together. That's for sure.
That's the scary shit. It's not a snake in one country. The head is in England. The body's in America. That this is a worldwide, like, absolute abomination. Really, yeah, I don't know what other to say it, but the scale of this thing is unbelievable.
Well, that's what they say, isn't it? The trifecta. You've got the spiritual in Rome. You've got the financial in.
Yep.
London,
Washington, or London, or the Vatican City
in Washington DC. Yeah.
So going international again, have you guys heard about the rumor that Obama's last day there on the 15th, that he may try to sneak in a two-state solution into Israel 5 days before everything changes?
Doubt it.
That's what I was. Be hard to put. Can he? I guess is what I'm saying. No,
he can, but it could be immediately revoked. I should imagine, like all the executive orders.
He can't issue an executive order on a two-state solution, can he? Or any type anything.
He seems to. I mean, he's done an awful lot under executive order that he shouldn't have been allowed to do at all. It only takes people standing up and saying, hold on a minute, you shouldn't be allowed to do that, or you can't do that, but no one is.
Well, the only way you get a two-state solution is through a UN resolution and agreement by Israel. That's not ever going to happen.
Okay, because I had heard there's like 80 countries going and everyone's going to agree, but I heard Israel isn't even going to the table, and they were, so okay, I get it. Thanks.
I mean, I suppose it's possible, but if you've ever seen or heard of the Left Behind series, I think that would be a pretty good indicator that
Kirk
Obama's
Cameron.
trying to become the Antichrist.
Kirk Cameron. Nobody knows that one. That's a gem. Have you seen the Nicolas Cage version? Terrible.
It wasn't much better than the Kirk Cameron version. I read the first book, which wasn't bad. The movies were a great disappointment. A lot of potential.
Have
No
you seen
production
our,
value.
the UK ex-Prime Minister Pig Shagger is going for a UN top job?
Well, it doesn't
Wasn't
surprise me.
Obama was heading for a UN top job as well after he leaves.
Yes, that's what I'd heard, was that Obama, again, this is all stuff that I don't necessarily believe, that was reported, air quotes reported, that I'd heard years ago even, that he will be doing Supreme Commander of the UN.
Yeah. Just need Tony Blair up there on front and we'll be laughing.
Hey, we'll get the Bushes 2 for 1, 2. Throw them in. Bush
So
and Blair.
I keep seeing that there's this sort of power struggle at the top now that Trump has become president of the United States and Putin's going crazy. I've seen somewhere that Obibi's wanting to release like 44,000 documents on pedophilia in America. All sorts of crazy things going on. Is this just normal international tensions? Is this just the relations that we live in and I'm making more of it than it is? Or does it seem like there's something really sort of an undercurrent here that these things should be setting off alarms but aren't?
I think so. I think things are ramping up. We've heard this crap forever, and we say nothing's ever happened, but a fair bit has actually happened. But they want all this stuff to come out. They need it all to come out for the one world government. You can't have a one world government without bringing down every government, without bringing down every police force, without bringing down every justice system. You can't have it until that happens. So expect complete and utter chaos in what we hold dearest to us, our justice system, our medical system, our schooling system, our police, our politicians, everything, our royalty. It's all got to come down in a blaze of shame and smear in order for people to scream out for a solution from our world saviors, which will no doubt, it may be whatever is formed after the UN, because I think the UN is destined for ashes as well, and from the ashes will rise this benevolent
Phoenix.
one world meritocratic, everyone's got a chance.
Well, we all have to come together and solve the environment.
We gotta love each other, man.
One love, peace, brother, peace.
More Tavistock conditioning.
So, Josh, I'll say this in answer to your question. We've been hearing the drums been beaten for years, but I think that for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, we've been hearing the drums and nothing's been happening, just like John said. And we've been hearing the drums and we've been hearing the drums and they've been getting a little louder and a little louder. But for me, I can smell it now. I know it. I can see the progress of their little moves because I'm awakening, like Josh said earlier. I love that. Whereas I firmly believe, yes, now's the time things are going to happen. Yes.
Because that's got to be a pretty big jump. I mean, we're talking from a soft kill to a hard kill, where they're no longer trying to boil frogs. They're just dropping lobsters in a pot of boiling water, right? So it's just...
Well, they've been ramping this up so slowly in front of us in plain sight, and no one has done anything. I mean, there are FEMA camps with coffins lined up for miles, and no one's saying anything. Oh, those are just pictures. Oh, there's nothing. Let's just watch TV. They've got
Alex
everybody
Jones is a
conditioned to
crackpot.
Right. Everybody who says anything about this is a conspiracy nut job and move on and watch American Idol. I really, I mean, that's why I started this whole thing on Twitter myself, was trying to get people awake and see it. And I mean, I fight it with my family, who should be the easiest ones to say, hey, look, this is easy to see, and they won't see it. So it's really frustrating to see that it is ramping up like it is. I think you're right. It's getting to a boil, and they're about to just start pushing us over that cliff.
I just don't know what the trigger is going to be. That's what I'm seeing. What is the trigger? What's the flashpoint on this one? Thoughts?
The blue beam invasion or whatever.
So I do
Huge
watch
thing.
television because my girlfriend wants to spend time with me, and she likes to turn her brain off because she uses it at work. So she likes to come home and veg out and watch TV. So I'll go spend time with her. And one of the shows, we watch pretty much whatever she wants. She was watching The Man in the High Castle. I don't know if anybody I think it's a Philip K. Dick story that they made into a TV show.
Like Hitler took over America or whatever.
Sort of. Kind of.
Is that the book?
Like that.
Is that the book the Vatican's been pitching? The two popes pitched that book? Is that?
I don't think so. That's a different show, I think. The Man in the High Castle is basically, it's a story from what I've seen. I didn't read the book. I've just watched the first season, I guess, first couple seasons. It's basically like alternate timelines. In one timeline, America got hit with the nukes and had to surrender and was divided in half, well, in thirds, really. The West Coast went to Japan, the East Coast went to Germany, and then the middle section was sort of the free zone, the sort of, deplorable middle that nobody wanted to fuck with. But it was this constant reference to the 2 atomic bombs that hit America. And now, and that's what these videos that were coming through, it's a goofy story, but they were getting video reels of a reality where America had dropped 2 atomic bombs on Japan. And Germany had lost the war, and it was this really weird scenario where they're getting all these strange movie reels of this strange alternate timeline. But it was this.
What do you think it's programming you to think?
Well, again, it's the complete and total annihilation, laying nuclear waste to America. Well, how else are you going to deal with a place where every home has 5 guns worth of fight back in it? I mean, the UN can't come and invade America. The UN wouldn't stand a chance against, pick any state in the South, could take out the whatever UN invasion force. I mean, the amount of weaponry we have on hand is ridiculous.
Do you not think that because of the amount of weaponry everyone has on hand, that the most sort of best way to do this would be to divide and have you kill each other?
Yep.
Yep.
Maybe, but I think also, America being what we are, I think we still have that American spirit where they will still be able to inflict enough brainwashing. They will still be able to gather the herd. I think it would just be a lot easier to mash a button and nuke the place. Because I don't think you're going to be able to get us all to kill ourselves. Well,
so they say nukes aren't real. It was all firebomb and napalm and fire damage out in Hiroshima.
Yep.
You see, I was listening to Crow. I was listening to Crow 777 today. You know, he was just sort of saying that, as far as we know, as far as each of our lives is concerned, 99% of the world is a peace-loving, decent place to be, getting on with. But we're told of all these fake events and fake riots, fake killings, and people cutting off each other's heads and stoning everyone. I mean, I don't know about you, but I've never seen it, and I've been to I've been to a lot of places around the world, and I've not seen what we're being portrayed as what is the human race. I think most people just want bit of security, safety, you know, community, good healthy eating, living, and getting on with their lives. I don't know about you guys, but I don't see
agree.
much violence.
It'd be more than 99%, John.
Probably. I mean, you know, how many of these episodes that we see on the TV are real for a start, and you know, we're being told, we're bombarded. If you've got News 24 or whatever, you're bombarded with horrific scenes every single day, every single hour of the day. And I've just got to come to question whether it's all contrived, whether it's all bullshit.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I
And
would
if
agree.
not bullshit, then, you know, seeded by
Well,
something like a Soros.
Let me give you an example of what you were saying, and Walt was part of it because remember, I can't remember, there was a Trump rally and they said it was so bad in St. Louis, wasn't it? Walt, where they said it was so bad, and you called your brother, and he's
No,
like,
Portland.
dude, oh yeah, tell the story,
Portland.
because I mean that's an example of what John was just saying.
Yeah, allegedly there's fires raging. There are like businesses being like, you know, having garbage cans thrown through windows. People are being like having stones thrown at their heads, taken out of their cars forcefully on the streets of Portland. I'm like, well, I can call someone and verify this. And I call my brother and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Is it like what I'm seeing on the news? Is it really going down like that? And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, all this like rioting and people up in arms in the streets. He's like, you talking about in Portland? I'm like, right. He's like, dude, there's always people in the streets in Portland. That's what Portland is. All the hippies moved to Portland and they always are protesting this and protesting that. I said, okay, so there's fires and people getting arrested and like jerked out of their cars. He's like, what? I'm like, right. He says, no, dude, you're out of your mind. I'm like, right. He said, I drive downtown every day. I see people every day with signs, with this business being picketed. I mean, there's always something, but no, there's no kind of riots or arrests or no, there's nothing like that happening. And he is downtown Portland every day.
Well, this is what I'm hearing. You know, you don't go to the East End of London because now, you know, whitey is a minority and you'll get lynched basically, and all this sort of bullshit. Or Bradford, or even Bristol, or Manchester, or even Nottingham. You know, and I just don't see it.
Common sense. Common sense rules the day. Obviously, you don't go to certain places at certain times alone. Like, but that's common sense. I don't buy for a minute what you guys like. What the media says. No way.
Sure. No. Sorry, Adam. What were you going to say?
I work in one of the most deprived areas in the country in Nottingham. We've got black, we've got white, we've got Asian, we've got Muslim, we've got Christian, we've got we've even got a nunnery sort of 20 doors down from the pharmacy. We've got everything, and people all get on and integrate. You don't have a choice in the poorer areas. People are always integrating and that, and people get on, and there aren't these issues that the media would love to portray. There aren't these lines that are drawn in the media in people's lives. People don't draw lines like that. Do you know what I mean? And
that's what
I see it every single day in my shop. People of all different ages, races, religions, talking and interacting together.
Yeah.
And there is, you know.
So unfair, hey, to draw those lines.
The riots that happened in Tottenham a couple of years ago, were they as bad as what they were portrayed?
Well, they happened here as well. I put my shutters up and was praying because it kicked off in a few inner cities. Birmingham and Nottingham was fairly bad as well. But you know, that wasn't race really. That was youths and people giving an excuse to express their anger at the system. They did a lot of studies I think it was Panorama or something, John, wasn't it? They did a study, and there was professional people in the streets in London, and they were looting, and they have no explanation of why they did it.
Yeah,
you know, reasonable. So
hired agitators?
No, just normal people that were swept up in the euphoria of the gang mentality and joined in. And I think it's that underlying
resentment at society that is kicked off in you, and that might be why you. I mean, I just wish that people would use their anger in a more sensible way instead of nicking stuff from Dixon's. You know, actually heading to a town hall or somewhere. Do you know what I mean? But it turned in a bit opportunistic, and I think is where the leading was and stuff. And I would imagine there would have been agitators for stuff like that. To, let's go kick in Dixon's and get some.
I mean, it's a tinder keg at the moment, and it's you know, they know how to pull the triggers, and they can do it on social media, they can do it on radio, they can do it in one event, a fake event if need be. They can do it in any which way they want. They can put out any story, any vile, hideous story of gang raping, of gang whatever it is, you know, and they know how to push our buttons, and they've been doing it for decades, if not longer. And it's time for us to realize when our buttons are being pushed, and when there's, you know, when there's actual real grievance, because absolutely none of these people are looking to the top echelon who are pushing the buttons on this shit.
I kind of feel that was brilliant, by the way, dude. Awesome. I kind of feel like the MSM fake news thing is part of it. Part of getting the people to slowly say, yeah, even the news is lying. Let's, you know, start to spark kindling.
Yeah, the whole fake news thing. Yeah, it's we've been shouting fake news for decades, and now they're jumping on it so that, you know, anyone can just turn around and just go, oh, fake news, oh, fake news. Yeah, it's all part. We just have to get wise to it.
That group thing, though, that's a serious thing. That is one of the things that, when you really quietly think about human nature, there's a real substance, and I don't know if it's genetic, but people act completely different in a group mob mentality. I mean, it's clinical, isn't it? Like, there is actual responses that happen to you when you're in a group setting in those key, highly emotional, keyed up situations, right?
So they tell us, yeah. So they tell us, you know, that we resort to becoming basically animals in a mob. But generally, mobs are led by 1, 2, 3, you know, a dozen people or whatever. There are agitators, like you say, there are agitators in there. But, you know, Glastonbury is a mob of God knows how many thousands of people. And all we ever hear is, yeah, some drunk guy died in a Portaloo, or, you know, and 20 people topped themselves and blah, blah, blah. But there's hundreds of thousands of people here, and 99.9% of them are getting along just fine.
Mm-hmm.
The thing, I mean, you know, I met through a guy through, we kind of contacted, I got into Flat Earth and through a guy through, you know, civil rights stuff and going to protests, and I you know, he was active in forming what are called peacekeepers, which were there specifically to wheedle out the police and people that were there to agitate and to go aggressive at the police, because, you know, any protest, you've got to keep it clean to have any credibility, first of all, but also to be able to keep protesting. And there's always people in there that are trying to instigate stuff. Do you know what I mean? And that's why, you know, you'll see in the UK peacekeeper tops. And
I mean, even Alex Jones talked about this when he was breaking into some facility or whatever, and there was, so, you know, that is some skinny dude running around starting fires all over the place, and it was just like, what the fuck? But this happens. This is what happens. You know, it's like, fuck the police, fuck the police. You know, if someone starts that chant, and then that's all you're going to see on the news that night, and you know, it's going to make the rest of the UK just shudder.
But that's why it's so dangerous, because it can be planned, or it can be a little kid who's boozing, like what happened in Vancouver when they lost the Stanley Cup. A couple of bad apples got too drunk, some kids who are in the hoodlum lifestyle and started throwing bricks, and then people are like, oh, they're rioting, and then it just went out of control. Like, that wasn't a planned riot. That's why these things are so dangerous, because they can be planned, they can be, you know, and just random by one rotten apple.
So easy to do as well.
And why I say it's so sensitive is because if you polled almost every single person in a mob that has ever lynched somebody or killed somebody or trampled somebody or followed with that one guy that you say at the top and then did something horrible, they would never do that. They would never, ever in their life want to do that or say to do it, or it would probably go against all their morals. But yet in that instant, the pull of the mob is so fucking strong that they will do horrible things and break as a person. That's why I'm saying it's so dangerous.
It is dangerous, but yeah, like I say, I think it needs leadership in order to go that way.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't know. What do you think, Rob? What's it like down in Oz? See you there?
We never lost Rob.
We scared him away with our talk.
He's muted.
He's doing the Robin run.
There he is.
What's up?
You been listening?
Yeah, I've been listening. Yep.
What's the experience like in Australia?
I just got nothing to add. No, I don't see anything here.
Well, I will say on my end, the only thing, as James said, that mob mentality is a frightening thing. It can get you. I've seen it happen in person, in concerts. I've seen it happen in situations where people thought there was a fire in a building. It can happen. I mean, you've seen the video of like the crazy mob that you would think is running from a bomb threat or a whatever, and it's all guys, some people chasing a Pokemon in that damn game somewhere in China, I think. And it's just thousands of people running down the street, you know.
Well, PK did a good video on the Nice truck attack with people running away, and if you know he freeze framed a couple of people running from there, and they were pissing themselves laughing. You know, if you just take it from the news and you think, oh shit, look at that, they're running away, but freeze frame and they're laughing. They wouldn't even have known why they were running away. It was just it's just rubbish. Just rubbish.
Run over to that tent and pick up your $50. There you go. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Nah, we don't know what's real out there, what's not real anymore.
No.
You just gotta have a bit of a look yourself, and most of it's shit. We know it's shit. When people talk to me about the news stories, oh, look what happened here, I say to them every time, it's probably shit.
But there's two sort of ways to go from that, isn't there? I mean, once you realise it's shit, you start turning off your TV, your media, you start stopping talking to people around you in the community because all they're talking about is their media and their bullshit fake news. And or you try and get organised and try and snowball your knowledge and the people of the knowledge around you. Someone telling me to shush?
No, I was saying shine the light on them, expose them, right? That's the other way. It's like put the spotlight back on them and tell others what they're doing, right?
I mean, it's easy for us to turn off. I'm just wondering how easy would it be for us to actually, I don't know, actually do something, you know? Actually expose this shit properly.
You mean like five guys getting together trying to get a flat earth company and brand out there with information and knowledge? That sounds like something.
That sort of thing. If only someone would do that. Yeah.
Oh, the potential.
If only we knew some guys.
Don't we have a guy?
I think we have a guy.
Where is that guy?
He's night crawling around somewhere.
Well, something's got to be done, isn't it? There's too many people waking up to this stuff now, but we're going to be called and labelled loons shortly.
Again?
Yeah, again, to more of a level.
Oh yeah, no. Like when the mainstream becomes like a little indoctrinated and sees a little conspiracy, we're gonna be like Flat Earth was to to everyone else 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh man, I used to look.
Oh, did we lose James?
Yeah, he used to look, but then he gets cut off.
But, while we wait for him, John, you hit on a good point on the set. Was what I was whinging to you about the other night, weren't it? Wanting to do something a little more, not decrying what's been achieved.
It is.
But
It is.
but to use this format to actually now achieve a little more as well with the help of hopefully listeners and
Yeah.
maybe get some other experiments going. And
it's just gaining awareness or spreading awareness that, you know, that a lot of what we're seeing is horseshit, and most of the time it's to manipulate us into doing what they want us to do, which is generally fight amongst ourselves and ignore the top echelon of controllers.
Totally.
Good point, John.
Did everyone? Sorry, John. Did everyone put this link up on their Twitter accounts just so?
I've retweeted Josh's.
Okay.
You want this to go live on the live timeline, Rob?
Yeah, I'm watching chat and there's no one in there at all. Usually we get a couple of people, but there's nothing happening there at all. No one's listening.
Probably a good thing.
Maybe we need to put some sort of word in the sort of hashtag word in the title to
Flat Earth.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think live listeners are that important, to be perfectly honest. And as we've got none at the moment, it makes no difference if I say that. But I think what's more important is that if a podcast or whatever, a discussion like this is good, legitimate, and coherent, then it will be heard later. I never watched anything live. Someone's in a
it's difficult.
gale.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
My goodness, Hangout is cutting up.
But at least we're live.
Means we're getting back to the flat Earth talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What is the title of this?
I don't know, Josh. What'd you put up?
Iron Realm Media 2017.
Oh,
that's going to get
some flat in it.
It's a home run.
Right. Well, okay. We need to hashtag it then, or keyword it. What do we want? How can we change the name of it? Probably not. Now we're live.
I think you can. There is a way. I did it once.
You just load it with keywords.
And Adam, Adam was gonna. He asked us one question. You had a few questions to ask us. Did you, Adam?
Well, that and just really, which would probably be quite useful for me, is a fuller description on Iron Realm Media. That was the thing from reading it, guys. That, John invited me to chat with you guys after you've all achieved and put all this together, and you have a quick look on the Twitter feeds and that, but it might be nice, how you got here. That was all I was going to ask, just a more a bit of personal background, just chatting with you guys, really, how you got to this stage. You know what I mean? So I think that's quite a feat already.
We had that.
Yeah.
I thought we had that already. Was that not up?
I mean,
probably not.
Not in the way that I know he wants, and part of that is because we're so close, but we're not just there yet. We have maybe 2 or 3 things that will evolve as we go. But yeah, that is definitely what we want to do, right? Is to get more personal and to have more of that connection. We don't have it right now yet.
Well, I mean, that's essentially what's happened anyway. I mean, amongst us core guys, we kind of all met here not here, but on Twitter, and got to know each other, and then started staying in the same DM groups together, and then it escalated to this madness you're now in the middle of, Adam.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to not be sat on your own going slightly insane. It's good to know there's others on the journey.
Exactly.
We're with you, Adam. We'll
It's
all go there
interesting. It's nice to see the same five faces. You know, one thing about my journey here is like there's been a lot of this. It's a escalator door. What do you call it? Revolving door, flat Earth on Twitter. Sometimes we've seen a lot of people come and go and say they're going to do things, and in the end, it's turned out that we are just loony enough that we want to hang around each other and make this work.
Yeah. And one day we'll write this story and no one will believe it.
Yes. Get them, boys. Get them. I think that's the point. Is where next? Do you know what I mean? Because I think there's a lot of us. I was saying to there's a lot of us that are kind of firstly happy that it is flat and convinced and doesn't need any more convincing. But maybe look, where's the next? I mean, I've enjoyed researching. I've done a bit of maths. Do you know what I mean? And I'm kind of enjoy that as a geeky thing. I'm trying to do maps. You've seen a few bits I've done with magnets and stuff and that. Kind of where for you guys is it next? What are your?
I think where it's going next, Adam, is that we're getting some heavy hitters in terms of not financially limited people or time limited people either. That are, you know, they're going to start putting together experiments and video. I mean, there was that awesome video with the laser across the lake that Dave Murphy was involved with. There's other people that are planning Arctic expeditions, Antarctic expeditions, others that are letting off balloons left, right, and center. You know, I think this is where it's our own technology is going to bolster where we're coming from on this, because that's the zenith we've reached. I think that's the crossover on the chart that we've reached, where our technology outstrips their bullshit.
Oh, totally.
And you guys, you know, getting tooled up. You know, 2 years ago, did you think you're going to be buying a super zoom camera and creaming over it on Christmas Day?
No, certainly not.
I never thought I'd love our website and be so devoted to getting our thing out. Nope, not crazy.
Yeah, I never thought I was going to be buying gyroscopes and stuff like this. Like, you know.
I had to wait for the Boxing Day sales to buy mine, and then I had to buy a lesser camera than I wanted to. But it's still going to be good.
Right.
You still got to work
Excited
out whether
about
it's
a
a lesser
sextant.
camera or a better camera. But it's 3 times better than mine, that's for sure. Just on the zoom.
No,
Yeah,
we've done a good job here. We've done a good job.
But this is what I'm talking about. You know, people are acquiring the use of boats. They're acquiring the use of planes. They're building rockets. They're doing whatever it takes.
It's spreading.
We're slowly gathering really technically proficient people. I mean, we have you, John, we have Adam, we have now a pilot in our midst that's like got some serious backing in her credentials, if you will, and all fronts.
Young Richard and his research.
Richard, right.
Oh man, that guy's.
We have some amazing people in our general chat group that are uncovering things all the time. I mean, I don't want to leave any names out, so I don't want to start listing any, but all the people we have hanging out are just helping us grow this thing. It's incredible.
We got gyroscope technicians, we got engineers, we've got physics PhDs, we've got research graduates.
Rob,
you know, we're not talking your average crew here, because people are getting really interested in this. It's you know, because once the logic and once the science or the logic the pure obviousness is put right in front of you, there are few people that are technically minded that will shun this, because that's why they were technically minded, because they were curious. They wanted to know how shit works. They wanted to take things apart. They wanted to, they wanted to know, and that's what brought them into their current, highly qualified professions. And once they, or if they look at flat Earth in a logical, sensible manner, very few people are going to be able to back away from it and go, well, I'm going to try and disprove this, or I need to prove this to myself. So I've seen nothing like this before.
No, it certainly isn't going away. And I think the mainstream pundits and people who are vehemently denying it have resorted to a tactic of silence now. You don't see Neil deGrasse charging at people anymore. They're just trying to let it go quiet, I think. You don't see it trending.
Yep.
You don't see it on Facebook trending. It's nowhere trending yet. There's millions of people all the time looking at it. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and this is what differentiates it. Sorry, carry on. Well,
go ahead, John.
I'm just saying that the things that differentiate this, the flat Earth realization from things like the law movement that we're in, and other sort of movements, fake news, this, that, and the other. This one has really attracted the professionals, for want of a better word. People with the equipment that can actually prove it or disprove it, like pilots.
Right. And as they see us gathering those technical people, they are flipping out. I think that's why they kind of backed down from letting Neil be the idiot he was being in front of everybody.
They're shitting themselves on that front, yeah. Hence the fake news crap.
And trying to make it look as silly as they possibly can.
Yep. Hence the amount of times Barack's talked about it, and other senior figures have talked about it in a derogatory way. The way it's been covered in the mainstream in a derogatory way as well.
Hence, event after event after event to detract us from it. All the false flags, all the election shit, all the hacking, all the Pizzagate, all the Mandela. It's all a distraction because they are fucking shaking in their nutters right now.
There's so much shit going on. Why are you wasting your time with flat Earth? It's like, because it's the head of the fucking snake. That's why. Once that drops, everything underneath it drops. Everything of establishment set up over the last 500 years, the royal societies, the universities, the teaching academics, the stuffy libraries, you name it, it all drops to the ground, because we all realize at some point that they've been teaching us bullshit. And we can prove it. And more than that, they can't.
Well said, my man. Again, well said.
Scary times.
Isn't that the event they're waiting for that you were saying they're trying to create then? Wouldn't that be the event they're just waiting to then trigger it when required?
Absolutely, yeah. I know what you're saying. Absolutely. That's probably well. I've said for a while now that we're all rushing headlong onto a knife edge, and the